All right, we are live. What's up, everybody? This is Daniel Bear from AdWordsNerds.com. How are you doing today? Well, I wanted to go live and just do a quick conversational piece about something I see people asking about a lot, which is these little chat windows that can pop up on a website. Do these work for motivated sellers? Do they work for real estate investors? What are we seeing in the marketplace? What kind of data have we gathered? I also want to share a cool free tool, which would be a really easy and free way for you to test this out on your own website. So let's talk about this. What are we talking about here? Well, chat windows or these kind of things that sort of came out around like 4 years ago or so. You'll notice these like little icons in the bottom left or right hand corner of the website where you can click on them, and they're generally going to open a little chat window where you can chat with either a live representative or something pretending to be a live representative. And there's been a lot of talk about do these work for motivated seller websites? Let me show you some examples because I think seeing this in the wild is going to help you understand what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to pull up the website of Express Homebuyers. So Express Homebuyers is a relatively big, home buyer company. I think they're in Maryland or DC, something like that. Really great people. They do a lot of really good online marketing. So I usually can, if I want to see what people are doing outside of the AdWords Nerds world, a lot of times I'll look at what Express Homebuyers is doing. They're in a lot of different markets. Now you'll notice down here, let's see if I can blow this up. This is the chat window right here, right? So normally it would look about this size. I'm on this website. I'm a motivated seller, just checking things out. And here I've got this little window that pops up. It's got a picture of this person here. Now, obviously, this is stock photo, right? And it says, "Hi, thanks for visiting ExpressHomebuyers.com. Can I answer any questions for you?" And I can choose chat now. Right? So I can click this. Now what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to say chat now. Cool. So it's going to get name, email, phone number, and address. Now notice this. This is an opt-in form. Even though it looks like I'm just putting in my thing to chat with a live person, this is actually a form, and I am sending my information to this investor, right? So it's a way of adding an additional form. There is some there's some interaction there, right? They've got the little thing here. It's eye-catching. So it's a pretty cool idea. And I believe if we go to oncaret.com, so oncaret.com, obviously investor Caret, they do, websites for investors, but they've got the same idea here. Down here, right, they've got the little icon. I can click on this. It says, "Hi there, we'd love to hear from you." I can start a new conversation. Now this one's a little bit more involved, right? I can see that they're back in 3 hours. They've got real photos of people here. So this is really going to be live, right? So new conversation, cool. And I'm going to be able to send a message. I could say "Hey, how much does this cost?" And then they're going to get this as a message on their end, and they'll be able to respond to me and engage with me, etc. So they're not doing the thing where they're going to pull my information into the form, but they are kind of using it purely as a chat functionality. So really interesting, right? And do these work for motivated sellers? How do these actually perform? Well, when we've tested these, they have actually not performed great. We've gotten very, very, very little engagement with this kind of chat window, right? Now, there's a lot of variations on the whole chat window idea. So it couldn't just be that we haven't tested the right kind. I think if I was going to do this for motivated sellers, I would do something more like the Express Homebuyers thing, where it's really just a form trying to pull in their information. Because that way, even if it doesn't work very often, it's still upping the conversion rate for the page in general, getting more leads to convert, right? So pretty interesting thing. But in general, motivated sellers don't seem to engage with this. I mean, we really see like 1% or less ever engaging with the chat window. Now, why is that? I think it's for a couple different reasons. One, I think it's going to depend on your market, because I think most motivated sellers are not particularly tech savvy. And so a lot of people don't really know that these things are there. They don't really understand them. And I think if you're like a typical motivated seller and you're clicking on an ad or whatever, you come over to look at the website and you're looking at this thing, and then something pops up and it kind of tries to engage with you and takes your attention, I actually think it raises the level of anxiety a little bit. I actually think that drives people, or can drive people, away from the site. So in a lot of ways, you want to do this in a way that seems non-threatening. or maybe doesn't take up too much of the screen. I mean, I think part of the other problem is if people are on mobile devices, I think it can be a little bit more challenging to like navigate with the chat window and then get back to the website and like, what am I supposed to do? So in general, when we're talking about websites for motivated sellers, we want to decrease the amount of decisions they have to make, decrease the amount of options they have. We want to say like, fill out the form. That's what I want you to do. That's all I want you to do. Just do it. Right? And that's going to increase the percentage of people that actually take that action. So that's kind of where I think chat windows fall. Now, there are a couple variations on this that are really interesting. And let me pull up one that we're actually testing right now. And then I'm going to show you a free one that you can try out, because most of these are paid services that you got to pay for, and they're a little bit of a pain in the butt to install. But I found a free one that we're experimenting with now. Now, let me show you. Now, this isn't the free one, but this is the one we're testing right now. This actually, we just installed this on Karina, who's our in-house web designer at AdWords Nerds. She built all the landing pages, all the websites for our clients, etc. This is her website. So we were testing this on this first before we start rolling it out on client web pages. Very similar idea, right? This is the little icon down here. Hi, how can we help you? This pops in. Now, what's interesting is that this is plugged into Facebook. So what this does, when I open this up to get this kind of like little message here and I can message her, this is a Facebook Messenger message. So what ends up happening is that I get that person's Facebook profile. I can see who they are. I can add them to custom audiences for Facebook ads, so on and so forth. So it's a really interesting thing. They don't need to log in for me to get their information because everybody's already logged into Facebook on their web browser. I mean, it's just really, really common, right? So really interesting. This sends them to, the message to the page. There's just a lot of stuff you can play with here. If you are doing any kind of Facebook marketing for motivated sellers, Facebook advertising for motivated sellers, getting people to like your page on Facebook, whatever it is, this is a really interesting way to drive them from the website into the Facebook ecosystem, right? So really interesting. The other one that I want to show you is this tool over here. Now, this is the free tool I was talking about. This is called RDBot. So it's at artibot.ai. This is the website here. It's really interesting little form. And what this does is try to it says it uses AI here, but really what this is doing is setting up kind of like an automated conversational flow that people can opt into, right? So I'll show you, this is, they're going to show you the example of RDBot here. Now, you'll notice a couple interesting things about how RDBot works. Very similar right here, right? They've got the little window, they've got the icon, I can click on it. Now, one of the things I like about RDBot is that it opens up this entire side panel. Now, this could be bad, it could be good, it kind of depends. But here, I'll kind of move this. I don't know if my window's in the middle here. Now, it's interesting because this gives you a big area to play with right in here, right? Big area to play with. It allows you to put GIFs. And notice that there's a GIFs, whatever you want to call it. So it kind of gives you a little non-threatening thing. And then it gives you the opportunity to put some automatic conversational things. So, hi, I'm RDBot. What would you like to know? And I can click these buttons, right? So what can RDBot do? I can click that, right? Then it's going to give me some kind of built-in information, right? It can do all these cool things, right? What's the pricing? It's going to give me an answer here and a link to the pricing page, right? I can click other, right? I can do this. Now, if you look at some of the customer showcases here, so let's look at this one. This control company, okay, this credit company, right? So they've got this thing right here. So you'll notice down here, the RDBot call to action here, start your debt recovery in 5 minutes, right? I can click that. So I've got this person, right? I'm Daniel. First, can you please let me have your name? Okay. Now, I don't know. I hope you guys can see this. Let me move this. Okay. So this answer here, right, says, hi, I'm Daniel. If you have a few questions, I'm going to have a member of the team contact you. Firstly, please let me have your name. Now, what is this? This is a form. It looks like a chat. It is a form. Remember on the Express Homebuyers website, right, when we went over here and we click chat, right, and I click chat now, it gives me a literal form right here, name, email, phone number. This one is doing all of the form field collection, right, so I can click Dan. Cool. Hi, Dan. So it's already putting my name into the conversation, right? What debt recovery do you need? Debt collection or credit control? And I can click. So let's click debt collection. For debt collection, you can start your case immediately by filling in your information on the Start Your Debt Collection page. It only takes 5 minutes. Do you want to start your debt collection immediately or continue with a quote? Okay, so this is kind of interesting. We could do this. We could do this for house values, right? Continue with a quote. What's the approximate number of invoices need collecting? 11. I don't know if that's a lot. What's the approximate? So notice this is a form. It's leading me down a path. So could you do this with, hey, what's your name? What's your email? Just in case we get, what's your phone number? Just in case we get disconnected. Awesome. What's the property address? You can do this as kind of a bot experience where it's mimicking a chat rather than pretending, rather than looking like a form. So Artibot's pretty cool. It's artibot.ai. It's free. To be totally honest, I haven't really tested it yet. I just noticed it the other day. But if you're looking to test this kind of broader category of chat windows and forms and all that kind of stuff, Artibot's free for a pretty fully featured version. It has a Zapier integration, so you can zap the information into your Podio backend and all that stuff. So it's a really, really cool tool, free to check out. Go test it. Let me know what you think. I think, in general, I don't use chat windows a ton for motivated seller websites. I like to focus on the forum. But I think more and more, a lot of these tools are providing some really interesting experiences. And depending on the tech savviness of your market, they might be really good. So that is Danny Bear from AdWordsNerds.com. Hope you enjoyed this little session, and let me know what you think. Leave a comment. I'd love to get into it and see what other people are testing. And all right, I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.